Hey guys, welcome back. So today we got 2022 Ioniq 5, so the full electric vehicle. Customer complained about heat is the heat and the climate control is not working. So I'm just gonna move this. So as you can see here, showing heat. Supposedly we're at 27 degrees. I have my temperature gun. Let's just see what's the temperature right now here. So it's showing 13 degrees. On the other side, same thing, 13 degrees. It's showing 13 degrees. What do you call that? Our blower fan works, no problem. So you can hear that, right? So let me just lower that down. Okay. My steering wheel is working, so I don't think this. As you can see there, steering wheel, heated steering wheel is reading at 33 degrees. So I'm just scanning for codes and see. So right now, let me just zoom in there. We got a lost communication with our PTC. So that's the, instead of coolant running on the heater core, they have a unit itself. It's like a radiator. It's an electronic one. That's what keeps heat for the cabin or inside the vehicle. So we got a CAN timeout on our comp. I'm not sure what's that. Maybe a compressor or something like that. So at least we have some codes there, because I think it could be just the connector is not plugged in. And I'm just gonna go to our service information, look for that component, and see our schematic diagram too, if you can see anything there obvious. Maybe, I hope it's just accessible, I don't have to remove anything, and we'll see from there. So right now we're on our schematic diagram. This is our PTC heater. So I'm just gonna click this, and that's gonna be around here in our glove box area, as you can see there. And for our compressor side, right now we're just gonna be doing what do you call that? Visual check. So this is the compressor. So I just opened this under the hood, so it's gonna be on this side. So far, as per the visual inspection, I think that's plugged in there. Oh, I don't know if you see that orange wire there, and there's gonna be a small connector too there. So before I remove this battery assembly here, it's on this side here. I'm just gonna do a visual inspection if I can look at the, what I call that, behind the glove box. Okay, so I just want before I take this apart and everything, I just want to it was accessible. I just removed our tray on the front, under the hood, and for our PTC heater, I just check our connections there. It's accessible, not the whole unit itself, but the connectors only, and I replug in. And let's just try to erase these codes. You see, and it's saying active still. So there's something going on in this vehicle. I'm just gonna go through to our data and see if we can go in there. And also for the PTC heater, it's not the only one that gives heat to the system. The AC compressor too, that's it changes its characteristics too. So so let's just see here. Compressor status, it's off. So I'm just gonna try to go to our climate control. Let me go some heat. Let me turn this on. Let's turn the AC. Compressor status still the same, off, up. Let me turn it to heat. So same thing. Let me turn this on. The heat. Okay. What else do we have here? You know this guy is off. We got our PTC too. We have an EVAP sensor there. Same 20 degrees. Doesn't change at all. Let me turn up the heat. So the air mix changes. Alright. Let me just put that on. Let me turn that down. So that went down. Okay, my control is still okay here. And then our AC control doesn't work. Heat off, heat, no, AC, nothing. What else do we have here? So I guess what's our next step in here is we'll just go back to our DTC. So we got a can timeout here, same thing, same codes. I think that's for the compressor, and lost communication with the PTC. So I guess we're gonna try to look for our communication lines here and what's going on, and of course we're gonna check the fuses, what's powering up these modules here, the PTC and the compressor. For sure the compressor and PTC, it runs with a high voltage, but I'm just gonna go through again for our schematic diagrams and see what we have. So right now this is the most accessible CAN network for electric compressor and going to our PTC heater. So we're just gonna monitor here and see if we have some activity. Okay, so I'm just gonna zoom in a little bit more and see what we have. Okay, right now, as you can see that waveform there, let me zoom in a little bit more. What we have is a no communication with one module. So as you can see, my red trace, I think this is shorted to ground or something like that, because the bias voltage in this one should have a 2.5. Right now there's nothing is going on here. Let me So right now nothing is going on there. We got 0 volts going up it should be from 2.5. So our blue is our high side, and our red is gonna be the low side. So from 2.5 going to 1 volt, and this guy in the blue is 2.5 to 3.5. So what I'm gonna do next is, let me try to unplug that PTC connector here on the other side and see if we have communication. So I'm just gonna go to the car and then let me unplug that. Okay, so I just remove our the communication on the PTC. It's the same thing, so I'm just gonna plug that in, and then we're gonna try the compressor side. Okay, now there's some changes there. As I unplug that connector, let me just go in and stop this. So it's the same thing from 0 and going up. And why is it doing that? Is it the same voltages? Let me see first. So that's 55 milliamps. 1.7 volts. What about this guy here? 800. So as I can see, my low side of the CAN network, it's almost near to ground, unlike to our high side that's from 0 to 1.7. So there's something going on here. It's either the harness is shorted. Let me go check the schematic again and see if what can we unplug. I'm just gonna plug in again our let me just move this here. Okay, I see another connector. It's in our junction box here on the driver's side. So I'm going to try to remove that just to separate from the compressor going to the PTC. So to see what I'm talking about is, right now our scope is hooked up on this side here, EP11. So what I'm gonna try to do is, if everything is plugged in, I'm gonna go to this EM11 and see if our network here for the AC control compressor, it's gonna go back to a normal, what do you call that, normal voltages. And if that, because this guy here, it's all the way on the here in front of the cluster, or in front of the dash, underneath the dash. So I'll try to not go in there first. So I'm gonna go here, EM11. So that's just here, as you can see there, EM11 beside the junction box. I'm gonna try to remove that and see if our voltages or the waveform will look what do you call that, what we used to see for the C-can. Alright. Okay, it shows nothing anymore because I unplugged that. But there should be something if the compressor wants to communicate. Now, how come it's not doing that right now? It's all showing 0. Okay, let me plug that in. I think it went to 0 because I think the power went off. I'm gonna go through again to our schematic. I think something is pulling it down. That's what I'm thinking right now. Okay, so I don't know what's going on with this vehicle, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to check power and ground on this side here and see, make sure that we have power there going to the PTC heater itself. So our green wire will be power and the black one is ground. So I'm just gonna probe the green wire very lightly to make sure. Okay, do I have good ground though? Let's see. Okay, I have power there. Now we're gonna check for ground. So I'm just gonna use this bulb here that I have. So black number 6. Just gonna probe that. Okay. And now I'm gonna use one here. That should light up, yeah. So I have good power and ground, as you can see that bulb there. Right? And that's a 2 amp bulb. So okay. Now we have good power there and ground. I'm just gonna put this back. Okay. And now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna try on the compressor side. I'm gonna remove that battery tray so that I can access it. And we're gonna see. Alright guys, so I'm sure that it's a CAN network, but it doesn't say on the what do you call that? The data link schematic, that where does it go in. It just says there that it comes from the climate control itself, AC control module, and it just communicate from there. So I got the Ioniq 5. I have to do a PDI. As you can see here, let me put this in like that, and then let me just stop it, because I know it should start at 2.5, and if it's CAN high it should go to 3.5. At least there's a 1 volt difference. So now I'm just gonna zoom in on this guy here. So as you can see, there's a different data. There's okay. I'm just gonna go more. Okay. So in our blue trace, that's our CAN high. As you can see here, it started at 2.5 more or less, right? Our CAN low, same thing, started at 2.5. And then it's gonna pull down to 1 volt. I'm just gonna put that in again. So here it's more or less 1 volt, right? And the blue, the CAN high, is 3.5, right? So as you can see on our problem car, that communication line is straight to the ground. So something is shorted in there. I don't know which one is shorted, because we tried to unplug each module, the electronic compressor and the PTC heater, and the voltage levels are still near ground. So hey guys, so after a weekend, I did some thinking, because we know that there's a short to ground on our CAN network. So in here we know that there's a short to ground, but I was too focused on our waveform capture that we should have confirmed it with our resistance check, right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna hook up our multimeter here. We're gonna do a resistance check to the ground, and this 44 and 43, and confirm that it's really shorted to ground. And then after that we can do divide and conquer. So we're gonna start removing EP11, EM11, and let's see if the short to ground is gone. So I got my multimeter there. I remove our negative cable, right? Because the CAN network went straight to the module, so I don't want to do anything damage. So let me just set up this camera. Okay, so first I'm just gonna check our multimeter. That's on the resistance. Let me try to select it with beeping sound. So I just check our leads, they're good. I'm just gonna go straight to our, because right now it's a negative cable, right? So I'm just gonna go to our ground just to double check. So that's connected to ground. Now I'm gonna put our lead to our connector EP11, the brown and white one. It's around here. So the white one, we got 78 ohms. So that should not be like that. Let me just. So we got 77 ohms. That's for our can low, and for our can high, the brown one, we got 17 ohms. So now we really have a shorter ground. So what we're gonna do is, I'm gonna remove this piece here. Let's see if I still have the short to ground. So there's that. So 1 and 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, I don't see any short or beeping sound from the meter on this harness side. I think this is going to the inside. Now I'm gonna go from here. Alright, let's test this guy here. So right now on the candle, that's the white one, has 134 ohms. I'm gonna go to the brown one. Yeah, I got 17. I got 17 on that one. Same thing when I plug this in. Okay, so now we know that it's coming from here. It's not from there, because this guy is going to the, I think the female one is going to, let me see first. Let me just move this. Let's see if we still have so I still have 134. This guy has still 17 ohms. Okay, so this guy, I think I don't have to worry about this harness here, because the way I can see is it's going on to our here, right? And that's gonna run through our AC compressor, so I don't have to worry about this. So now I'm gonna try to unplug so the connector that we remove is from here going to this AC compressor, right? So I'm gonna try to remove this EM11 that's inside the vehicle, the junction box there. I'm gonna remove that and see if we still have that short to ground. Because if no, meaning that our short is coming from here going here, right? If still yes, we have short somewhere. So I'm just gonna remove that connector, because if our short is gone, meaning our short is from the EM11 going down. If the short is there, after I poke this, after I remove that EM11, meaning from this guy going to that harness there, that's where our short. So So I removed our EM11. I just hope that it's not going to the dash because I don't want to take out the dash. Okay. Poke this. OL. OL. Oh man. So when I remove that EM11 the junction box, we don't have no short. So meaning our short is inside. It's inside somewhere, not here. Okay, we're gonna go to the inside one. So let me just put this back in. There's nothing to worry about here. Okay, so we're just gonna go inside. I'm gonna remove that under trim piece there, under the steering wheel, so it's easier for us to see. So it says there 57 and 58. So 57 58 are blue and red. Blue and red, maybe white and brown. I have here white and brown, so I'm just gonna poke that. I guess the blue and red is on the male side. Okay. There should be no continuity here. Toward the ground, I guess nothing. So I'm gonna put our other lead to the brown one. So where's that? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have one here. White. Nothing. Okay. So now, because we're suspecting now that our short to ground is on this inside here, inside the harness. So that's gonna be white and brown. You see 1, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I got 19 there. The other one, 1. So I still have shorter ground here. It's still shorter ground. I know it's not from the module or the PTC heater, because we removed that, it didn't improve the waveform. I know this is a harness head issue. So I guess I have no choice, guys. So I think I'm gonna try to remove this all cluster assembly here. Maybe I can access that joint connector, and then I'll update you. Hey guys, so I removed some vents on the front, our audio unit. So luckily that it's not under the dash. Well, the harness is under the dash, but as you can see here, these are joint connector here for our CAN lines, and it's accessible here for our AC control module. So for AC control module, because this is the guy who distributes the CAN communication. So this one is the connector for that one. So I'm just gonna remove that. With that, no short. So it's either we'll get a shorted module here. So I'm gonna put this back again. Something is shorted in this one. It's either I'm gonna try to remove this. Maybe I'll try to remove this, because either way we're gonna put a new one in there. So I'm just gonna remove it again. As you can hear that beeping, and the shorter ground is gone, right? So I'm gonna remove this guy here, maybe open up the module, maybe we can see what's going on in there. So I remove our circuit board. This is our AC control module, and our concern is that M03A 37 and 38, that's our CAN line, is shorted to ground. So what I did is I'm gonna connect our meter here, and this itself is shorted to the ground. I don't know why, but it's shorted. So let's go check in the meter and see. Okay, so I'm just gonna do this like this. Let me grab this. Okay, so I'm just gonna connect one to the ground, right, and the other lead will be touching that 37 and 38. So that's 40. Beside it will be 40, 39, 38. What's the matter? Wrong lead. Okay, let's check. I'm just gonna check my lead. So right now I'm on a 38. Oops. I'm just gonna put that 38. So 135 and 37, as you can see there's 17. Now I don't know what's going on in here, right? I don't see any corrosion. I never had experience with this to see what's going on. So you know what? As of now, I'm just gonna leave it like this. I'm gonna order a new AC control module, or maybe grab from another vehicle, since this is brand new. And I will update you guys, and we'll see. Alright guys, so I got this new module from another vehicle. So we're just gonna check the terminals, the same thing, number 40 and 37, 38. So I'm just gonna poke this number 38, nothing. 37, nothing. So we're gonna put this in the car onto our problem vehicle, and then we're gonna scan for codes. So I plug in our new module from another vehicle because I think it's back order. So we're just gonna scan for codes, and those two codes, especially the can timeout and the lost communication with the PTC, that should be on the history. Let's see. I'm just gonna do full system scan, and if we see some other codes there, it's because, especially on this side here, I removed this connector. This for our parking brake, right, and auto hold. So okay, so now we got this active code for our in-car temp. I don't have to worry about that because I unplugged that sensor there, so that's good. I'm just gonna go to history, right, and then where's that can timeout with the so we have that can timeout now. Unless I'm gonna do a what do you call that, variant coding on this one. So let's just go to our management system. I'm just gonna go to our AC control module and see if there's a variant coding option there. AC control, no, I don't have that. So I guess that's it. So I'm just gonna go to our data, and last time when we checked it, the AC itself and the heater is staying off even though we press the button. So where's that? This one, operating status, PTC, and where's the AC? Compressor status. So I'm just gonna start the vehicle. Okay, that's ready. I'm gonna go to our climate. I'm gonna turn on the heat. So heat is on, and our PTC heater is in the on status now. Alright, I'm gonna adjust this. Okay, that's good. So I'm just gonna grab our temp gun just to verify that everything is working. I can feel the heat now. Let's just see our temp gun. What's the reading? So right now it's reading 42 degrees Celsius, which is good. Oh, the other side, 31. This side 31. So let me go to our other on the data itself again, because the AC didn't work on 2. Well, it's gonna be what do you call that, on these models that the AC can pump heat to, so they just reverse whatever the system on the AC system too. So as you can see here, our AC compressor status is on, PTC is on. So the vehicle needs an AC control module due to a shorted can to the ground. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time. Thank you for watching.